Так, Washington samen een stooppot. Alsjeblieft.
It's kind of mild. It's nice. It's not like boom. Tickles a bit.
I feel like this just tastes like a latte. I don't really taste the pumpkin here. Can you say hi to the vlog? Laura, say hi to that. So I'm running extremely late for my 10 a.m. class. Everyone says these in these get ready with me videos, but I actually don't. I've lost the ability to go to places early in the morning. 2 years of sabbaticals and all those years in high school of waking up at 6 a.m. to go to school. Start at 7:15, gone down the drain. It's crazy. I used to go to school, wake up at 6 a.m., come back home at 5, like every day. And now 1 2-hour class murders me. But anyways, let's get ready. Vibe for today is the vibe that I'm always giving basically, which is lady in undergarments in a period inaccurate movie. The first piece we're gonna work with is this skirt. I love this skirt, but I haven't been wearing it a lot because I think it's literally coming apart from how often I've worn and washed it. So yeah, it's cold. It's like 10 degrees today, so I'm gonna put another skirt under it, both to make it warmer and also because this is getting real transparent. I don't know if you can see, but like this is really just dying. I have always been fascinated by historical undergarments. There's this scene in Joe Wright's Anna Karenina where she's like standing on a little thing and her maids are helping her get dressed. She's like reading a letter. I remember I was absolutely like fascinated by the scene, obviously because Keira Knightley's gorgeous, but because you see her getting dressed like almost every layer. I remember always being so upset when they put the final layer, the dress, because I thought the undergarments were so gorgeous. And the costumes are totally historically inaccurate. I don't think anyone cares. I think people only care about historical inaccuracy if it's ugly, because if the costume department actually has a vision and they need historical inaccuracy to achieve that vision, then no one cares, you know? I've always been obsessed with historical undergarments. With undergarments in general, I'm obsessed with lingerie. I think it would be a great dream of mine to design lingerie one day. I just think there's something really lovely and interesting about the progression of undergarments, of underclothes in history, because they move quite differently from the outer clothes. And modern lingerie still retains a lot of aspects of historical undergarments, where modern outerwear, modern regular clothes don't really retain as many from historical regular clothes. And there's a really cool kind of time capsule elements to undergarments, but it's also just interesting because of the delicacy, the intimacy of the pieces, both in their concept and just physically. Like the reason we're doing this skirt is because it is very delicate and, you know, flowy, and this isn't lace, but it gives the vibe. And a lot of those elements are so prevalent in the just undergarment area. I am saying the word so many times it's starting to lose meaning. But yeah, then that's what I love in fashion, you know? I love gossamer and lace and muslin and transparency and flowiness and all things delicate and soft and airy, and that's just the area of it where you find most of that. So of course I'm obsessed with it. I think I'm feeling a bit blue maybe, but the thing with this one is I'm not sure how I feel about this corset. I might get rid of it. I don't know, just I feel like the shape of it just makes me look really boxy and weird. Like it should either be longer or more structured. But the fabric is amazing. As you guys know, I'm obsessed with toiletry. Can you see my dress here? Just turned on the light because I just realized how truly dark and grainy that was. But I think this is cutting me at a weird angle. That's the thing I always have with this corset. I always think it cuts me weird, you know?
Al horses,
spilled milk she is. Spilled milk she is, white as a new tulip, a body like a freshly peeled block of soap, full of the sow and coconut. Watch from the corner of the trembling eye, mist to an overbold gaze. She goes with the stars to wherever they hide, sleeps in their airy pillows, maybe dreams, maybe disappears into ether. With the sunset she rises from that sticky pool of shadow at the end of the upstairs hallway, midnight zone, marine snow, twilight of the fae, Neptunite pulled towards the sky, crystal or 1,000 shards of glass, burning blue or frozen white. Shipwrecked bride, she stares, blind, sings, lips sewn together with white silk. A mouth is a wound. A mouth is an unraveled seam in a trousseau, linen, diamond, pearl, oyster, vodka, condensed milk. A heavy breath, a heavy hand, lace and satin, bows asking for unwrapping, arrows with an arrow through his eye, feast for fungi, lips and teeth so close but so estranged, so afraid of each other. Ever wonder what ghosts think of desire if they think of anything else? If the tides ever bring them together, how do mermaids judge them, girls and ungirls? Are sirens offended when they dance in a ship's collapsed hull and these gray flat iron curls can only watch? All these virgin wives in their seton frocks, spider-woven veils, moth flowers, black holes to the house, refusing candlelight, lit like a stranger's face in an aquarium, seen through jellyfish. The old spell always wants the air's teeth and the grave of a star. All this phantom water can't keep the attic warm, boarded up where all else fails, lock her there. So all she can do now is stare out the window. Is she angry? Does she know how to be? Does she know she can? Ask her mother if she thinks water soothes or heightens pain. In a dark lake you once wanted things you'd never say. Watch your hair ripples move and wanted to hold something, pull at something, bite down, hold your tongue like a seizure. Maybe blood can make you a believer, but never her. Saltwater haunts with their calcified hearts tend to stubbornness. Maybe she'd trouble you less if she did haunt, turn lights on and off, give you a fever. But there's no hunger by the stairs, no adrenaline under the bed. Like a child, you leave a bowl of honeyed milk outside your door, wait for the abyssal cold, listen for the whisper of her skirts. In the morning, you find it untouched. Hi everyone, this is Mayhem. Say hi, Mayhem. Hi. She's so cuddly. They purr so loud. She sounds like some kind of... ignore her butt. I haven't been speaking at all in this vlog just because, I don't know, I think I've lost the juice. I forgot how to vlog. I've just, been recording things that catch my eye, which is more fun for me anyway, especially when I'm editing, because I have to say it takes a big toll on my mental health to have to stare at my face for so long. But it is what it is. I wanted to give you guys a little life update, starting with this baby. Come here, Mayhem. Mayhem. Come here. Back in Brazil, I had 4 cats. They're 5 now because after I left, my mom got another one. So I've had cats in my house since 2018. We started with 2. They were siblings. Then we got another one. Then we got another one. I love cats. I also have a dog back in Brazil. Excuse me. He's a stinky little Shih Tzu and I love him, but cats are my thing. I'm like 100% a cat person. They get me. And ever since I came to Germany, I really been feeling, that lack of an animal in the house. It makes such a difference. I feel like I was always looking at the shadows on the floor and being like, what did I think was there and wasn't? And it's these babies. People who grow up with no pets whatsoever are crazy to me, because that is such a specific deposit of affection that you don't find with humans, like it's something else. I've been advocating, because you don't know, I live with 2 other people, with my sister and my brother-in-law. So I've been advocating for us to get cats, and they agreed, but they wanted to get 1, and I was really fighting for us to get 2 for a practical reason. I recommend everyone get 2 cats instead of 1. It's literally easier, it's less work, because they play with each other, they fight with each other, they waste their energy on each other, so you get a lot less zoomies. And the cat is just better acclimated in your new house, because these specifically, they were siblings. I'll get into it, but they have someone else that they kind of know, someone else from their species. They clean each other. It's just like it makes for a better cat. The cat will just have a better time and be more well behaved, be much less of a nuisance. You're gonna have less scratching. You're gonna have less peeing in the wrong places. So when I had cats, I started with 2 siblings and I never had any issues. My mom, for the longest time, didn't want to have cats because she said she thought it peed everywhere. I've never had a ill-behaved potty-wise cat. My Shih Tzu, my whole life, I love him to death. He's so high maintenance. We bought them, unfortunately. I was 4. I didn't have ethics back then. I wasn't aware, but we bought him, and he has like this crazy pedigree, and he's like the sickest dog, has so many illnesses, so many issues. He's old, but he has always been problematic in that sense, and he peed and pooped in the wrong places. He ruined couches, so he was always quite high maintenance, and I love him for that. I love him exactly as he is. But cats are so easy to have. They do everything themselves. They already know where to pee. They are 4 months old, no problems. The scratching can be a problem, but like you just give him a scratching place and that's pretty much fixed. So my sister is a professional nail artist, and she had a client who was telling her that her cat impregnated another cat, and they had a little litter, and she wanted to get rid of the cats, obviously, because they were like 5 or whatever, but she had 2 left. And my sister was like, do you want to give me those cats? Because they fell on our laps, like God sent them, and they were 2 just like I wanted, and they were siblings, and we weren't gonna separate the siblings. Like at first we were worried because they have funky ears. I don't know if you noticed, they look kind of folded, and we were worried they were Scottish fold. I think that's the name of the breed. You know, it's the one with the folded ears like next to their heads, and those cats are really sickly because in order for the ears to be like that, they bred them to have like cartilage problems all over the body. It manifests in the ears, which makes them cute, but it gives them so many problems in life because obviously they don't have enough cartilage in the body. They're not actually, their ears aren't folded. We realized when we saw them in real life, they're not folded. They're really small and kind of sideways. Besides that, something else fun that's happening in my life is that my father is here. He's leaving soon. That's why yesterday we went to Potsdam. Guys don't know, I live in Berlin, and Potsdam is a little city near to us, which has, I think, the most castles in Germany or something like that. It's really beautiful. And we went to a museum there to see the their Impressionist collection. I think it's the biggest Impressionist collection outside of France. I got this poster because my room's walls were completely empty, and I needed something in my life, and I love this painting. I've loved it for a really long time. I have it glued to my bullet journal. But randomly, what I wanted to say with all of this is I've been thinking a lot about how disorienting it is for me to live in a city that's not near the ocean. I've been in Berlin since April. It's November now, so a while. I still feel so weird here sometimes. Like there's a kind of an oppressive vibe to the city, and that has to do with the fact that we have bad weather, and in Rio I'm used to beautiful weather all year round, and the fact that we have a lot of these, you know, kind of ugly 60s buildings. But we have ugly buildings in Brazil too. I would say the buildings here are taller, I think, in general. I feel like in Rio we have shorter buildings, and that kind of affects it. But I really think the main thing for me is the fact that there is no ocean. It almost gives like a sense of irreality to the city. Rio, we're basically between the ocean and the mountains. The city goes like this, you know? And that just makes so much sense. And I feel like my brain is wired to understand space like that. Like it's either near the mountain or near the ocean, and it's really easy to tell where you are. Like I know obviously I've lived there all my life, so I know the map, but like I know the placement of the different Stadtviertels, the neighborhoods. See, all the languages are getting mixed up in my brain. Something about being in a street and knowing the ocean's kind of right there, that makes it feel real, that makes it feel grounded. Or like I can see the mountains from everywhere in the city. We have really big mountains, and we have the Cristo Redentor, the big Jesus statue, and you can always see it from the area I live in, so you kind of always know where you are in relation to if you're seeing his back or his arms or his face. And so Rio is just, it feels right. It's just a city that feels right. Like you feel like a city should have been in that spot, and it feels real, and I feel like I can breathe in Rio because it's like the energy rolls down from the mountains into the ocean, so it doesn't get stuck. Berlin, it's land. Everywhere you go, it's land. I don't even know how far I have to walk to reach the ocean. There are no mountains. The city is flat. I feel like that might even be worse than the ocean. The flatness of the city. Because in Rio, you can see so much because usually you're a little higher in the mountains, so you see all of the view, or you're lower in the mountains and you see everything in the mountains. So you're seeing so much of the city all the time. Here, maybe that's why it feels fake, because the eye can really only see so much. It's flat and the buildings are tall, so like you can't see that much of the city. But it's just weird, the same heightness and the lack of ocean. It feels, I like Berlin, I really do, and I'm a big defender of Berlin. I feel like people have such a weird fake impression of the city, but it is weird in that sense. It's not something particular of it. I thought it because I was in Potsdam, and it's a really pretty city with old buildings and large streets, and it's autumn, so it was lovely. But I still felt the same way. I was kind of like, where's the ocean, where is it? And I went to Vienna, and Vienna is gorgeous as well. Beautiful, beautiful buildings. And I felt the same way. It's like I was looking at some pictures from my trip. I remember sitting in a cafe, and there's something about sitting on the outside of cafes in a city like this that feels weird. Because in Brazil, if you're sitting outside, like you kind of know you're either close to the mountains or the ocean. In Brazil, in Rio, there's plenty of land in Brazil that's very far away from the ocean. It's just like vertiginous to have been in one place your whole life and know its layout, and then you move and like you still have that initial layout kind of superimposed. But it's just weird, and I wish I saw more water in my daily life, because I really miss that. Because in Rio we don't only have this the ocean, we also have the bay and the lagoon. Here, whenever I'm in a car and I drive by the Tiergarten at night, it's a park, right? So there's no lights inside, it's just darkness, and I'm always like, oh, it's the lagoon. It's not the lagoon, it's the park. In my brain I'm like, oh yeah, total darkness, it's water. That was my rant. She's sleeping.